Hello, my name is Brandon Sanchez, and I'll be talking about speech development. For the first slide, how to tell a speech, it asks to tell a concise and relevant story with a clear structure, ask engaging questions that set up the message, share powerful, relevant quotations, presenting an interesting fact or statistic. Also, it says using visual illustration like a prop or demonstration. So for this one, I feel like it would, well, I feel like it would help benefit me in terms of trying to clarify things, not just about the speech itself, but clarifying ideas and principles I want to convey. For the second one, how to organize a speech or presentation. So I've divided this in three parts. The first part is the introduction. Usually it takes up 5 to 10% of the time of the actual presentation. The first part is to grab the audience's attention. Obviously, that's a given. That's with books and everything. The next one, it says, show why it matters. The third one, state your thesis and preview. Obviously, the first two are going to be the main ones. Grab your attention, like, say it's reading. You grab the attention of the audience. Why does it matter to them? What are they going to connect with? Whatnot. As for the body, usually this is the part that takes up roughly the majority of the speech, which is like 85% of the time. So the first part is, well, it goes over 3 clear points. It also says to use transitions like first, second, third, last, etc. It also says organize logically, chronologically, or topical. It also says it also supports with examples, data, and stories. Usually this is going to be the heavy hitter of the whole speech. This is where most of the main, or the actual speech is. And as for the conclusion, this is like 5 to 10%, so similar to the intro. So it says signal the end. The conclusion signals the end of the part or the speech. And it also says to restate the main idea, recap if needed, call to action if it's a persuasive, and end on a strong line. It also says say thank you to the audience. You want to be appreciative towards them. So for this one, I think it would help benefit me because I tend to ramble on things I'm interested in. If I'm really interested in something, I'll just keep yapping until the very end. And honestly, this will make everything more concise and organized, at least to me. This one goes over the body language of the presentation. The first one talks about eye contact and smiling. It says, maintain eye contact. Look at each person long enough to complete a thought. Pair with a warm, genuine smile to build connection. Basically, it's telling you to engage with the audience. Don't just be a loner and just sit there robotically like, yeah, this is my speech, whatnot. Like make them feel welcome. Make them feel engaged in the conversation. It also talks about posture and gestures. Avoid distractive movements like shuffling and pacing. It also says, stand with feet shoulder apart. Weight slightly forward. Basically, just don't be slouched over, hunched back, or, just be calm, loose, and stand up straight. You want to project that you were very strong and adamant about your opinions. For the last one, it also goes over pausing and nodding. Pause briefly after key points. Use subtle nods to emphasize and indicate agreement, or invite agreement. My bad. So for this last one, it just basically goes over don't say everything all at once. You want to give a pause after each sentence or each key point. And you also want to invite people to the conversation. You don't want to just ramble on and talk with yourself or whatnot. You want to have people jump into the conversation and throw in their own opinions. How to practice a speech or presentation. Practice from a bare bones outline instead of word notes. Spread out practice sessions. Focus on one or two improvements per practice session. Keep practice sessions realistic and visualize the first and last 30 seconds of the presentation. Mostly just going over what you should do to practice your speech. I think this would benefit me in a way. I'm not really good in giving out speeches itself. I think this would be really helpful for when it comes for me to actually outline a topic for when it comes to brainstorming a topic and other things. How to practice a speech 3 days out. For the first day, it goes over the rough draft. For the second day, it goes over rough cuts. It says to remove weak content and unnecessary words. For the third time, again, significant cut in day 4, the final trim. Basically, you want to just cut the fat of your topic. Yeah, don't want to make it too lengthy where it's basically goes on for hours. I mean, as I've said with the last couple ones, I think this would also help me with trimming the fat on most of my topics, so I don't essentially ramble on for hours on end. So like this second one, this one is how to open and close a statement. For the intro, it says grab the attention, show relevance, build credibility, and state the thesis. It also says to preview main points. Attention grabbers. Attention grabbers usually go over questions, quotes, images, or facts story. For the conclusions, usually signals the end. It also restates the main idea and gives you a call to action. It also ends by linking back to the intro, so essentially just rephrasing essentially what you were talking about. How would this benefit me or others? I would feel like for me this would be the most the one thing I would notice that would probably benefit me would, well, for two, grabbing the audience's attention and building credibility. I feel like this is probably a given. This is like for anyone that's getting into writing. Usually this is like the one thing that you need in order to build an audience itself. As for signal the end, I'm not really good at emphasizing when the end is. So usually when I start anything, I usually start with the intro, the body, and the conclusion. But I really have trouble when it comes to using transition words. Also, just conclude its story itself. So, really, out of all of this, how would this information help you or someone else become a better public speaker? Honestly, I think this is, in of itself, I think this is by far like all these skills could help you help better yourself. I think this would also help me go over key points, what I need to fix. For one final thing I want to say is that when it comes to public speaking, I'm not really one to actually talk about a topic or stay focused on something. So usually what would happen is that yeah, I just wing it, just go over things that what I think of. I think this would really help me with when it comes to staying focused on the task itself. Uh, I think it would also help me when it comes to actually paying attention to what topic I'm talking about and really detail my main points. So yeah, that's been my my speech development. Thank you very much.